Water is the basis of life on Earth. Living water, flowing from a spring, gives life-giving power, and nothing can replace it. There is very little pure water left on Earth now. Living water is preserved in blocks of ice in faraway Antarctica, and in the strata of huge icebergs. It is still preserved in places with clean ecology, in the morning dew or in the water of high mountain rivers, in the water of lakes and wells, where it is loved and treated with reverence, as the basis of life on a par with the air. According to the World Health Organization, there are currently 1.2 billion people in the world without access to enough clean water, and millions of people are dying from drinking bad water. This video compiles 10 of the most shocking facts about water that you probably didn't know. There is not enough water for everyone. Simple fresh water has become one of the most valuable resources in the world, around which regional or even global wars may erupt in the future. Although the Earth is 2/3 covered by water, and has a total volume of 1,386 million cubic kilometers, there is about 40 times less fresh water on Earth, only about 35 million cubic kilometers. And only 1/100th of those reserves are within walking distance of humanity. The problem is that fresh drinking water is unevenly distributed over the planet. Reserves are dwindling, while the population of the planet is growing. In addition to the scarcity of fresh water, there is another urgent problem: water quality. Deteriorating water quality is directly related to increasing pollution. In most cases, it is caused by human activities and overpopulation. In 2025, the population of more than half of the countries in the world will have problems using clean drinking water, and in 2050, 75% of all countries will have problems using clean water. So where can we find clean water to drink? The cleanest water in Finland. The cleanest water in the world is considered to be in Finland, where 80% of the water is classified as exceptionally clean. This has been recognized by the UN Committee on Water Resources. The entire population drinks it calmly from the taps. Finnish schoolchildren drink this water in school canteens, at recess, and during school hours. It is drunk in buses and trains. Finnish tourists take it with them on trips. Finns have old wells with clean spring water next to their homes, left by their grandfathers, and they carefully protect them. What is meant when they say clean water? It is, of course, water that meets all standards for the content of various microelements. It dissolves toxins, and does not increase their content in the human body. Below is a list of the most mysterious facts about water that may shock you. Hot water freezes faster than cold water. This paradoxical effect has been observed since ancient times, but no one paid much attention to it. Experiments show that hot water turns to ice faster than cold water. Scientists are still arguing about what causes this illogical phenomenon: the effect of liquefied gases on water, or the difference in the processes of evaporation and convection in the formation of ice. This phenomenon has been called the Mpemba effect. Throughout the history of scientific observations, many hypotheses about the causes of the phenomenon have been put forward. In 2013, researchers from Nanyang Technological University in Singapore said they had solved the riddle of the Mpemba effect. According to their study, the cause of the phenomenon lies in the fact that the amount of energy stored in the hydrogen bonds between the molecules of cold and hot water is significantly different. Despite the exhaustive information and numerous experiments, the scientists intend to continue studying the effect. Have you ever observed this phenomenon? Write about it in the comments. A person drinks 35 tons of water in a lifetime. Water is essential for survival. A person can go about 30 to 40 days without food, but only a few days without water. Food without water has no energetic value for the body. Water supports metabolism and digestion processes. The skin provides 10% of the body's water reserves, which are the first to be consumed in case of liquid deficit. Experts state that a liter or two of plain water a day will make up for the daily demand for liquids, and the skin will be smooth and beautiful after getting sufficiently hydrated. The scientists compared two groups of people. The first group drank about 6 glasses of water a day, while the second group drank only 2. It turned out that the study participants from the first group are less likely to have a heart attack. This data suggests that drinking at least 5 glasses of water a day reduces the likelihood of a heart attack by 41%. Water on Earth is older than the Sun. Russian scientists, along with colleagues from France and Germany, have confirmed the presence of water deposits in the Earth's mantle, finding that the liquid existed there as early as 2.7 billion years ago. To determine the age of water deposits in the mantle, scientists examined the komatiite igneous rock, which emerges to the Earth's surface as part of the mantle plume's hot streams rising at a rate of several meters per year. Note that so far it was thought that water enters the deep mantle of the planet as a result of the movement of lithospheric plates. However, as the researchers noted, now there is reason to believe that the liquid has been present inside since the formation of the Earth. According to Alexander Sobolev, water may have been brought in by asteroids or comets at an early stage of Earth's formation, which had already formed as a ball that is, about 4 billion years ago. The most expensive water costs $90 a liter. It is no coincidence that water is becoming very expensive in some countries. For example, in Los Angeles, water costs $90 per liter. Not surprisingly, because the producers pack this precious liquid with a balanced taste and pH value in bottles with Swarovski rhinestones. But it's not yet, as it turns out, the most expensive water in the world. Not far from the Hawaiian coast, deep in the ocean, water called Kona nigiri is extracted. It is produced by desalination and purification of seawater, and then bottled in 0.06 or 5-liter bottles. A large bottle of the water costs more than $2,000, while a small bottle costs $33.50. The funny thing is that you can't drink it just like that. Before drinking Kona nigiri you have to dilute it with regular water, because its concentration is very high. Many people who have already tried this water claim that this liquid helps to relieve fatigue and stress, lose weight, improve health and improve complexion. Water can kill you. According to the United Nations, nearly 80% of diseases in developing countries, from which nearly 3 million people die each year, are related to water quality. For example, 5,000 children die daily from diarrhea. Because of the lack of clean drinking water, many people on the planet are forced to consume contaminated water. Drinking contaminated water can lead to diseases such as cholera, polio, hepatitis E, dysentery, typhoid fever and many other serious illnesses that can lead to adverse consequences, up to disability and death. The most dangerous to health, for the most widespread group of people on our planet, is water contaminated with pathogens, used directly for drinking and cooking. This is most often the case in exotic or third world countries. Outbreaks of infection can occur en masse when people take water from a single contaminated source. Water does not freeze down to -48 degrees Celsius. Ultra-clean water can remain liquid to -48 degrees Celsius, and then it turns into intermediate ice, a substance that has neither the properties of ice nor those of water, American scientists have shown. First of all, scientists have figured out the minimum temperature at which water can theoretically remain a liquid -48 degrees Celsius. When water, even the purest water, approaches this temperature, it undergoes a rapid structural transformation. Its molecules begin to rapidly gather in companies of 4, forming tetrahedrons. Water turns into something else, Molinaro says, and that something else is very close to ice. It is not yet a crystal, but it is no longer a liquid, but a chaotic cluster of still disordered crystalline tetrahedrons. By the way, ice glass, a kind of amorphous water ice, also very little studied, as scientists found out, consists of these tetrahedrons by 1/4. And at a temperature of -48 degrees Celsius these tetrahedrons line up into a regular lattice, the intermediate ice turns into real ice, and its density drops sharply, and the heat capacity and compressibility increase sharply, although in other liquids these characteristics, on the contrary, decrease with decreasing temperature. It is this transformation that determines the high rate of crystallization of supercooled water, which has long prevented scientists from understanding what is really going on there. Water has a memory. Water reacts to the thoughts and emotions of the people around it, to the events occurring to the population. Crystals formed from newly distilled water have the simple shape of the well-known hexagonal snowflakes. Accumulation of information changes their structure, making them more complex, increasing their beauty if the information is good, and, on the contrary, distorting or even destroying their original forms if the information is evil, insulting. Water encodes received information in a non-trivial way. One must learn to decode it. Water is a structure that perceives surrounding information and transmits it to other organisms. Water reacts to the words, intonation, mood of a person who is nearby, to animals, plants, and any other affairs and objects, as well as senses the influence of household appliances, in particular TV, microwave, cell phone and the like. Water changes not only from spoken words, but also from written words. For example, when a bottle of water was wrapped in paper with the word "thank you" printed on it, beautiful crystals formed from it. This has direct implications for humans. Firstly, the human body consists of 90 to 70% water. Secondly, every day a person eats water. The structure of this water determines what processes will occur in all human organs and systems. Water regulates the Earth's temperature. Water is the warmest substance in nature. It can absorb large amounts of heat without becoming as hot as other substances. The exceptionally high heat capacity of water has caused the ocean to regulate the Earth's climate. The ocean has become a huge thermostat, making the temperature and humidity of the atmosphere more stable, or a kind of grand global air conditioner. Therefore, one should rejoice rather than regret the enormous spaces occupied by water on Earth, because the ocean, having accumulated thermal energy, gradually gives it away and thus contributes to softening and smoothing the climate in coastal areas from season to season. It is the ocean that makes our planet habitable. We could talk about the unique properties of water for a long time, but we will talk about that in the following videos. Write in the comments what fact about water most shocked you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel not to miss new videos.